Yo,
What's up?
Game of Thrones though, dog.
Yo. Oh, it's cold-blooded up in Westeros, dog. They killed my nigga Ned Starks.
I mean, my man was just there, right? And he talking about, he got down there and the thing, like,
Sing.
and then I was like, I ain't worried, they gonna kill my boy Ned Stark.
Slip.
I was like,
Yo, I told you they cold-blooded up in there.
and then I was like, but that's okay because I still got my nigga Khal Drogo.
Oh, Big Zave Navarro?
Yeah.
Big Zave Navarro?
Big niggas. Wow.
Yeah, that dude picked up some molten gold, poured it on niggas' heads.
I wanna sleep with my sister.
Yo.
And he killed him, right? I mean, he big like Hercules and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't kill Khal Dragos with a paper cut.
An infected scratch up on there. But he got straight killed. Oh, but you know who my favorite character is, though?
Who's that, dog?
Khaleesi's. Khaleesi. You know I be liking some Khaleesi's, dog. But what about Khaleesi's?
Straight up with them dragons.
Butts.
Khaleesi's with them dragons. And Khaleesi's all like this. And then we talking about... Just straight roasting goats.
Yo!
Oh, my God.
Man, what about when they got Wildlings girl talking about, you know nothing, Jon Snow. Killed!
What about the hound, though?
Yo, the hound talking about...
I'm falling down the hill. Kill me. You gotta kill me.
No.
Killed slowly by omission.
Bingo.
Yo, what about my man Tywin Lannisters? Tywin Lannisters.
Tywin Lannister stuff.
Yo, my man talking about, I'm taking his shit.
He said,
I'm taking. Killed
by his own son.
What?
The Dinkles.
The Dinkles.
Tired of the same old radio talk show? There is an alternative. This is Gonzo Radio.
That's it. The glasses are back. I'm back in charge. I'm back in charge of the mouse. Big Daddy Gonzo, complete and total control over my show.
Yeah, keep laughing.
I think I'm letting the presence of our guest affect me. Lisa, Kevin, say hi to the nice people.
Hi to the nice people.
Yes, Kevin, the Idaho Jew. And Lisa, the extreme canine enthusiast. Extremely. I will say this camera angle, even though we know that you are shorter than Kevin, it's sort of an extreme. It's an extreme camera angle. I like it. It looks good.
Angle.
We changed. There, good job, Kevin. Way to make her
Nice.
feel comfortable.
Let me sit up straight a bit. Do I have to go get my
Would you like your pillow back?
Get my booster seat back again?
Oh, but you choose violence. I choose violence
I choose
too.
violence.
I
Next
choose-
week I do.
Oh, we most definitely choose we do choose the violent end of the stick. That's for sure. And the lighting looks pretty good too. You guys, of course, look good because you got the good camera.
Well, that's because we look good.
Well, that's
We
true.
don't need the makeup, do we?
I spray painted my hair nice tonight for you guys.
Fucking
They-
divas.
They use spackle on him.
At least.
I turn my face to the light. I have nothing to hide.
You have
Hey, say
everything
hi
to
to say hi to Lena, Gonzo.
Lena, Miss Lena Corrales.
What's up, Lena?
We love having Lena on. Hey Blonde Chick at Hey Blonde Chick on
It was Hey Blondie,
Instagram.
I thought.
Yeah.
Or is it Hey Blondie?
It
Yeah,
was Hey Blondie.
It was.
It is Hey
Debbie
Blondie now? I thought it
Emil.
was Hey
Debbie
Blonde Chick.
Emil's in the chat also. Now everybody's
Deb
getting
Debs.
here. What's everybody had to put their dishes in the dishwasher before they could get over here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's a good thing you did. It really is because I mean we have some things to discuss.
Is that why we're
We
here?
would go with the normal format of having themed segments like like the douchebag of the week, which is coming up later, which is going the subject of the douchebag of the week is a guy who a lot of you would think should be the douchebag of the week, every fucking day.
Me?
But not just you. But okay, yeah, you.
Okay,
no,
cool.
It's not the Idaho Jew. But I don't want to give any spoilers. Speaking
Why not?
of spoilers, our guest tonight, he is a two-time participant. This is his second time guesting. This is going to be his fifth time appearing on the show. In the show, he is the host of what I will eventually produce, the Supervillain News. Eventually, I will get the Supervillain News. No, he's not doing the Supervillain News tonight, but it is Tamerlane, real-life supervillain, in the house. not just another stand-up comic. I've been hearing some noise that, oh Jesus, Gonzo, all Gonzo has is stand-up comics on his show. And what? Sorry, is it too interesting and too funny for you now? So okay, well, I know other people, I know other artists, I know other people who are creative, I know other people who are talented, and then I know supervillains too. Not just me. Sometimes, well, I've got a bug up my ass. And that's it is that poor bug. It's the subject of our RUFKM.
Are you fucking kidding me?
RUFKM?
Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, I have all kinds of "Are you fucking kidding me?"ness. Now, the phenomenon known as Game of Thrones is in full swing, season 8, and the 3rd episode has dropped, which could only be described as epic. Epic. I would describe it as epic. Yeah. Epic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wow.
Holy shit. Yeah. And I can honestly say, hang on. Wait. No, I totally missed it.
Are you fucking kidding?
Oh, nope, not that one. Wait, Lisa's here. I know she is. This is what happens when you let me run the things. Yes. Spoilers. Let me now, on this subject of spoilers, what? Ooh,
I got a spoiler.
What?
Snape killed Dumbledore. Fuck nuts.
Yeah,
I
Dobby
don't know what that
dies, and Indiana Jones had nothing to do with the Ark of the Covenant getting to the warehouse.
No, it would've been
All he was the guy in the way. It would have ended up there anyway. There's tons of spoilers. There's tons of spoilers in life. But let me explain a little something for you, okay? And it's the thing that I have a problem with, and that is people who are on social media a week to 2 weeks in advance of an event, of some sort of entertainment or media event. And you can see it already in their social media feed. If you spoil A or B for me, I will unfriend you. Do it. Okay? Do it. Unfriend me. Okay? Social media is optional. I'm sorry if it's so much part of your life that you can't let it go until you actually get off your ass and carve out that time to watch whatever show that everybody is talking about. But the rest of the fucking world might want to talk about it on social media. That's the social part of social media, Cupcake. I mean, Lisa and I and Kevin and I have talked about this ad nauseum, and especially now that it's the Game of Thrones. It's the Game of Thrones, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh hell, no, it's also Endgame.
Well, yeah, an Avengers
halfway
Endgame.
done.
What have
6
we?
episodes. 6 episodes is all
Six
it is.
episodes,
We've
yeah,
watched 3.
Game of
We've got
Thrones,
3 to
yeah.
go.
Three
There's
left.
literally less than 4 hours. I hate to say that. There's literally less than 4 hours. The next one is an hour and 18 minutes,
Yep.
then an hour 20, and an hour 20. So
Yeah.
it's just under 4 hours
And-
left of this show.
And for all the people for Endgame, it blew out box offices around the fucking world. Tough shit. I'm talking about it. You don't like it? Fuck off.
Hey, I didn't see it, and do I care? I don't care.
Thank you.
I still
I
didn't
read
see
all the
Captain
comic books.
Marvel, so
I got the comic books too. I had friends
Thank
of
you.
mine. I didn't want to
Appreciate
spoil
it.
anything for you. I'm like, guys, tell me. I'm okay with it because you telling me is your perspective, and then when I go see it, I'm going to enjoy it for my value. So again, fuck off. Jesus Christ, for God's sakes. I'm sorry. It pisses me off.
And it's just, listen, it pisses me off, but it's the main part of it is, the main part of the anger is that it's on social media where people talk about this shit. Okay, people talk about this shit on social media, and you're going to be a social media warden that you're going to, well, if you talk about it, then I'm going to unfriend you or I'm going to block you, and fuck right off. Go ahead and do it.
No.
I mean, seriously.
I'll give you one worse. I told you about the story earlier today in Hong Kong, China. Okay, guy's coming out of the actual 3-hour movie. He's talking about it passionately with his friends. They were excited. He was talking to other people. And some people who were going to see another movie beat the living shit out of him in the theater for talking about certain scenes of the film because he was coming out of it. Because they didn't want to hear about it because they're going to see it in a couple of days. And I'm like, then if you didn't want to hear the spoilers, you shouldn't have watched a different movie that fucking day. People are going to talk about movies when they're in it, when they walk out, and when they get to their car. And if you don't like it, I don't know. Just because you're too short to get on the good rides at Shanghai, Disney, doesn't mean you could beat the shit out of the other dude, okay? Fuck off.
Why you spoil Avenger? You go spoil Avenger for me. I beat your ass.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of...
I don't know. Everybody's just so angry about everything all the time anyways, and that's just what it is. That's just, everybody's just always pissed off. I'm always pissed off. I'm always on some kind of a rant.
But it's a fucking movie and a TV show.
Well, here, now, wait. Okay, let's...
Can I correlate it to something for you, please?
Please.
Okay, because I am an avid TV watcher. As extremely enthusiastic as I am about canines, I'm even more extremely enthusiastic about reality television and all the crap involved, okay? And so that's always on. Like, I still watch Survivor. Sorry, sorry, not sorry. Okay?
It's your fault it's still on TV.
Sorry, not sorry. And by the way, this season has been awesome. So, anywho.
One of those.
I am the kind of person where if for some reason I can't watch Survivor on Wednesday night, I know everybody's going to be talking about it online. I know it's going to be all over. I know if I open Google, it's going to be like, who was voted off Survivor last night? So you know what I do? If I don't watch it on Wednesday night, then on Thursday, I just stay off of social media. And if I do go on social media and I see something, guess what? Much like, being able to change the channel on something that you don't like, if I see somebody talking about something I don't want to be spoiled for, I will just click away. Don't look. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
What are you, an adult?
I don't know. I don't think that's possible.
You mean you're a reasonable human being? Oh, heaven forbid.
We're a dying breed.
Bart McClellan brought it up on Facebook. Bart's a really good guy. We got to have him back on the show.
Love him to death.
But Bart brought it up. Entitlement.
Yeah.
It's a sense of entitlement that you go on Instagram and on Facebook and demand that everybody shh until I watch the movie. Well, listen, Cupcake. Okay, let's say
that's our second cupcake tonight.
I've cupcaked again.
I'm gonna eat a cupcake on my way home now. If he says it one more time.
I've also got some sunshines for you too.
Woohoo! Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
We're gonna give you a week for a major motion picture. 5 days. You're gonna get 5 days, not 5 working days. No. 5 days. Okay.
I don't even give him that.
And apparently for Game of Thrones, you get 23 and a half hours.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, you get 20 hours. Because we're going to come on at 8 o'clock. We're going to talk about it.
Because here's how I feel about it. That 5 days, bullshit. You know why? Because the review comes out the morning before the film comes out on film. That review is out Wednesday before it premiered on Thursday for Endgame. Right. And what are you going to do? Not read the fucking newspaper? You're not going to watch the...
Does anyone read the newspaper?
It has to do... to me, it breaks down to this. If you can buy your tickets in advance, like all the little kids do, great. I have to wait for it. But if you don't get your tickets in advance, and some of us can't, oh well, it's life. You get these live broadcasts, and it's a one-time deal. Whatever you're going to do, wait for them to come back around. Oh my God, I missed Kiss live in concert. Don't say anything about the concert until it'll come back 3 years from now. Fuck you. Oh, here's a spoiler for you. People are assholes on the road. Stay inside and die.
I have a spoiler alert.
What's that?
Stevie Nicks was inducted for the second time in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Didn't that happen like a month and a half ago? You should have waited until next year's inductees.
Spoiler alert.
I know.
What the hell, Lisa?
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
That for like 2 years.
Another great one, this DVR generation, another great one are people that record sporting events. Sporting events. We have of course, is he in the chat room? We have a certain gentleman who always has to get up real early in the morning, so occasionally he will record his favorite football team if they have a primetime game. But does he really expect people not to say anything about the score, or for the score not to be broadcast?
Yeah. They did a whole episode of How I Met Your Mother about that with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So stop expecting the world to stop because you want to wait to watch it, or you can't get around to watch. I've got a job, I've got a life, I've got a thing, I'm a student. Okay. How
about these people that will DVR a whole series of a TV show and then not want to hear anything about the season? Well, when it comes out at the end of the year, when that last episode comes out, 2 to 3 weeks later, the box DVD comes out. Yeah, but she's realistic. I'm sure she doesn't like strangle someone for
No, I don't
for
get,
fucking
like,
turning
I
around
don't
saying,
get mad.
"Hey, guess what?
It's
It's
my
the
own
last
fault if I
season of
do
Big
that.
Bang Theory." Yeah,
It's my
thank
own
you.
fault
You
if
take
I do that, but-
responsibility.
Well, there's binge
There's-
watchers. We understand about binge watchers.
That's
Okay?
okay.
Binge watchers. Binge watching is binge watching. You get to it when you can.
Well, okay, back to Game of Thrones. Okay, back to Game of Thrones, everybody. No,
Spoiler!
actually, this is not really a spoiler because this is like, if it's a spoiler, it's from like a long time ago. When I got my first tattoo from Kimber, my side piece, my even star, I was talking to her about Lord of the Rings and this, that, and all the Hobbit and all the stuff that I'm into. And she was like, "Do you watch Game of Thrones?" And I said, "No, I don't watch Game of Thrones." She said, "Do you have HBO?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have HBO." "I can't believe you don't watch Game of Thrones. This is totally right up your alley. You've got to watch it." So I was like, all right, maybe I'll go watch it. So we did the first session of my tattoo. Okay, we did all the outline and the black and everything like that, shading. And then I went home and we set up the next appointment for like, I want to say like it was like a month later after healing and whatever to go back in with the ink. So maybe 3 weeks. Anyways, I go back and she's like, "Did you start watching Game of Thrones?" And I was like, "Oh, we're almost caught up." And that was like right when season 4 was about to end. So we were like, we raced all the way through seasons 1 through 3, and that was when they were still 10 episodes long. The good old days. And so we watched all of those, and we started season 4, and we caught up in time to watch the season 4, like season finale, in real time with everybody else on that Sunday night.
And what was that season? Was that the Red Wedding? No, that was
Season 4? God, I don't even.
No,
can I tell you?
was season 2, wasn't it?
The Red Wedding, well, yeah, because Joffrey.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about spoilers again. The Red Wedding and Joffrey died and whatever, and it's like, okay, that was like 6 fucking years ago, so that can't be a spoiler.
Yeah,
for
it's not a
anybody at this
spoiler. You don't
point.
get spoiler status for that.
He's out of show business now.
I got my brother who is like he's got like time-stamped text messages that have like all of his theories that have all panned out, and he is just, because my brother's an attorney, so he lives to win an argument in the first place. So he is all excited that everything he's said is going to happen is going to happen. You know what I mean? And so he's like all proud of himself. So for those of you who want to know his next prediction of what's going to happen, okay, since he's right all the time, is that prophecy about Cersei being killed by her little brother is kind of going to be true, but kind of not going to be true. Because we believe in our family that Arya is going to kill Jaime and put on his face and use that to get close to Cersei, and she's going to be the one to kill Cersei. And that's why the prophecy says she's going to get killed by her little brother, and she always thinks it's Tyrion. But it's not, because Jaime's her little brother too, because he was the second baby that came out. She was the first one born. She was the first twin.
That's a nice theory. That is.
Okay, so put
na-
that in your pipe and smoke it.
Well, you know something? Now that we've gotten that far, I say we just talk about the episode.
No, we're not going to talk about the episode. We can talk about, like,
I'll tell you this.
We can talk about theories and stuff like that.
I was so close. I predicted at least 6 major named characters were going to die.
Oh my God! Everybody did that. What are you, crazy? What are you, some kind of fucking psychic?
But we took a bet on which named characters were going to die this episode.
Oh, okay.
I was short by 1.
Which one?
You don't want to give up. You don't want to give it away.
I'm going to say it. Okay. The Night King. I was not.
You didn't think he was going to die this episode?
I didn't think he was going to bite it.
Well, spoiler alert, we're not going to say whether or not he did die this episode. Ha ha, I guess. I don't know.
But other than that, out of the ones that I did get right, I got 5 out of the 6 right.
Caution, Kevin, you are in deep waters with a Game of Thrones shark.
Dude, you have no idea. I've watched it so many times.
The multiple
And
Game of
I
Thrones
cannot
shirts
wait-
should tell you
and
everything you need to know.
I cannot wait until I see that season finale, because that season finale, actually, it's the week right before my birthday weekend. Okay, so I am going to be doing little doggy overnights up there with my schnoodles in Boynton Beach. So those schnoodles are going to be watching a shit ton of Game of Thrones overnight. I'm going to probably be awake all night with them watching Game of Thrones, because once that's over, I'm going to start back from the beginning. I'm going to watch the whole thing again. And I just rewatched the whole thing right before the season premiered. Like an idiot.
And someone told me to rewatch the series from the get-go with Arya. And that's why I thought
I'd love to watch the series with Arya.
I thought
Somebody got Macy's number
she was
for me?
going to die yesterday, and thankfully I was wrong.
Again!
Yeah, I don't care. Because guess what? It was all over the goddamn internet this morning.
The interwebs?
It was everywhere. Everyone was freaking talking about it. So if you didn't hear it, I'm sorry. Tough shit. You know why?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I did. Don't care. You know why? But I love it because everything that happened to this girl from the beginning to the end set up what happened last night. Now, I'm not going to say what happened last night. Okay? I'll be cool with that because that's too much of a spoiler. I have a little respect.
Very little. Monicum.
But everything that happened, it was laid out. It was just laid out. Everything was dropped last night about her involvement in everything. That's why I thought she was going to get off yesterday, but it followed suit. Everything. It led up to that one moment, that one big moment. And it was beautiful.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I love redheads, but that she just became the sexiest thing on that fucking show to me.
Oh, okay.
You know what's a little gross though? Still is that like you could say she's the sexiest thing on that show, and I understand she's 22
Attitude.
years old, but like
Attitude.
we met her when she was 11, and I just always think that
I
anybody
know.
that is introduced to a person when they're that young that can ever find them desirable in some sort of sexual fashion, I want nowhere near my nieces ever. By the way, did everybody get to see the video I posted of my beautiful goddaughter singing, chanting at church on Holy Friday night?
Well, she can sing, let me
Oh, I
tell
missed
you.
that.
She has a voice like an angel. And the spirit of a little devil. She's so bad.
She
Woo!
did that in church.
14. She's 14 years old. Yeah, she's been singing in the choir forever, and she goes to that Bach school, it's like Fame, you know, it's like the Fame
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
So very talented.
And does she understand the nuclear weapon that her mom has at her disposal at the end of the telephone? That
Of course. Absolutely.
You know, and that he's got backup.
I know.
And that they do not make groups of little boys that are enough to stop
Uncle
him
Gonzo.
or me. Yeah.
Well, Gonzo, what else do we have to talk about in this segment? Because we're like yammering on and on here. We're just eating up the clock.
I like yammering on and on.
We're just eating up the clock here, and I want to eat something else up.
Would you like to? Why? What do you want to eat up?
I don't know. I'm hungry. I was gonna think we'd take a break on this segment.
I offered to buy.
Call and
I
order a
offered to pick up
pizza.
Sushi.
I know, but I wasn't gonna be here until so much later. I didn't want to have sushi that was laying around.
Put it in the refrigerator.
Well, it seems I have to
Regardless.
feed Lisa. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look away from the camera like this. This is the magic of the show. What we're going to do is...
Don't break the fourth wall.
Fourth wall. I got your fourth wall right here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to feed Lisa. We're going to give you a little hint, a little spoiler as to what the douchebag of the week is going to be, as to who it could be. And we'll have our guest, real-life supervillain, Tamerlane. I love saying it like that. Coming up next, right after this, on the Gonzo Radio Gonzo Radio Show on the Gonzo Radio Network.
It is wonderful to be here at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What a week. As some of you heard, the state of Hawaii released my official long-form birth certificate. Hopefully, this puts all doubts to rest. But just in case there are any lingering questions, tonight, I'm prepared to go a step further. Tonight, for the first time, I am releasing my official birth video. Now, I warn you, no one has seen this footage in 50 years. Not even me. But let's take a look. Oh well. Back to square one. I want to make clear to the Fox News table, that was a joke. That was not my real birth video. That was a children's cartoon. Call Disney if you don't believe me. They have the original long-form version. Say what you will about Mr. Trump. He certainly would bring some change to the White House. Let's see what we've got up there.
Radio. And we're back, and we've got lots of reverb for you. Welcome back to the Gonzo Radio Show. Of course, I am Big Daddy Gonzo, and no, we do not have any fancy banners coming below today because I have a purple parrot. Call me Jafar. Call me Jafar. Jafar.
People want to see me on the camera.
People. What people are these?
The peoples.
The peoples. Well, which peoples are we talking about? Because we have peoples in the chat room.
We do have peoples. We have Debbie. We have Lena. And I don't know who else we have in there because they're not chatting.
They're not chatting. Chat! Speak, people! What's wrong with you?
All I saw was Deadpool.
Bentley's going to start barking.
Well, yeah, I said chat, not speak. Well, I did say speak, didn't I? Well, we have a special guest in. Not just the parrot over my shoulder here. We've not gone to a 1.5 shot.
I'm going back up in my big chair. I don't feel like I'm in there.
That way she can lurk over my shoulder.
She likes to be like Snoopy.
Well, good. You do that. And
like the vulture.
Joining us next to Kevin the Idaho Jew in his second guest appearance on the Gonzo Radio Show.
Is it really only my second?
Welcome, yes. Welcome, Tamerlane, the real-life supervillain. Greetings, Zach. And next to him is anti-hero / bank robber. No,
I saw Deadpool
no, that was
in there,
it.
so what the fuck?
Dude, I was at your restaurant earlier today. El Jefe Luchador?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I had a taco. It was really good. Your guacamole is amazing, dude.
Thank you very much.
My
guacamole is the shit.
I was gonna say Luchador. He would be Independent Circuit Luchador El Deadpool. Yeah. See, now that's the difference between a real life supervillain, a professional supervillain, and somebody who just puts a ski mask on and acts like a moron. Right there. He's too busy. He's too busy brushing up on his information.
This crossover.
So, Lord Tamerlane.
Yes, thanks for having me back. This is it's quite the experience. It's the new digs, of course. I feel like I've been on more than once, though. But is there different levels of being on. I don't know. Am I level 2 yet now?
Well, you're in that area. Bring the microphone a little closer to you.
Oh, I'm so quiet you can't hear me with the mic. Is that
Well,
what
I know you're used to enunciating in front of large throngs of people. But well, once again, welcome back. And
Yes.
I noticed you were reading a book.
Yes, actually. I don't know which
Real,
camera's best here. That one over there.
here,
Is that me?
yes. Camera
Is that-
5.
Is that camera 5?
The one
Yes.
that's facing us.
Well, I did bring a book with me. You know, I have to self-promote when I'm here. It's what I do. Of course. And I have a book here, Real Life Superheroes, written by Nadia Fazani. She is a Canadian citizen of Lebanese descent. And she has written books in the past on serial killers. So she did this one book on real life superheroes. We have Seattle's Phoenix Jones on the cover. But what I really like about it is that there's an entire chapter devoted to supervillains. And that's chapter 4, by the way. And the reason I'm promoting chapter 4 is because, well, I'm in it.
No.
Now, being that I have been a supervillain for many years, my eyes aren't what they used to be. So,
the bathroom?
if there's any, yeah, I think so. I have hairy palms and
That's why you
whatnot.
wear the glove.
So, if the pirate Jew feels so inclined, he's welcome to read any of it. Otherwise, it all looks like Chinese to me right now.
It might have something to do with the Scotch, Tamerlane.
Well,
you are a bad influence.
I am
was a big
I am
glass.
on the Macallan 12, thanks to Gonzo, and plus a little Stella, the wife beat a beer. And we should be getting paid by these people up on promoting them.
The way you drink it, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm also on Benadryl too. I don't know if that helps. Well, it helps me, but
Also saw him on a
Like a
bottle
wild
of
man.
moonshine and an IV tap
yeah,
over here.
nothing like a little Benadryl to mix with the Macallan.
So we have a good one for you. Maybe you can make a new movie called Tamerlane Goes to the Optometrist.
I don't like to visit the capitalist medical system in this nation. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
steer clear. I know people who check themselves in the hospitals and end up dying. So I'm going to stay out of that.
It's like you don't go to the hospital to find well people.
No, certainly.
That's where they keep the sick and the injured.
Yeah.
So what else are you up to besides being a literary icon
Well,
now?
this is good news. Absolutely good news. The other thing is I've been working closely with this nonprofit organization called Actors Cultural Theater, and they have been so kind to make me the antagonist in not one, but 2 of the short films. So I'm quite pleased by that.
Excellent.
Yes,
Villain,
thank you.
villains is as villains does.
You know what? With me is you get a pre-made villain. I show up on the set. I am me. There's no rehearsing of lines. I just sort of do what I do.
Villain ain't easy.
And it's
Typecasting.
And it's a non-profit. So, oh, never mind. I'm sure you're manipulating their minds.
Villainy for non-profit. It
There you
doesn't
go.
mean there's not money involved. Don't let the non-profit.
Okay.
So yeah, we've worked on 2 short films. One is called Heroes of 6th Street. It is about a family of African American superheroes living on Broward County's Fort Lauderdale Sistrunk Boulevard.
Superheroes
Wait,
and
I've been there before. Like back in the day, you could get like dime bags on Sistrunk.
I'm sure you still can, but why bother, right?
I'm 100, but yeah, no, you can get a dime bag next to a 7-Eleven now.
So what did you do back in the old days? You pull up to some county park or something, and
Actually, there was on Sistrunk and Powerline, there was an apartment complex, and I knew a kid, Tony, who lived there. Oh yeah, I knew somebody there. I definitely did, and yeah.
Tony, you've been out.
Tony
I have
got the
similar
commercial
stories.
weed.
I guess I went to high school in Western Massachusetts, and so we would pull up to a park that was in the center of probably several 5 or 6 story apartment buildings, and yes, sure enough, somebody would come down and provide you with some smoking herbs.
I knew that accent sounded familiar. Massachusetts.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I actually have what's called the Mid-Atlantic accent. I blame my New England upbringing for all my education.
Massachusetts. A supervillain.
Not named Romney. Yes, I know.
This is what they consider slum in Massachusetts.
Or named Kennedy. I know.
Shit. Oh my God.
I mean, you sure you're not a Kennedy? You sure you're not a Kennedy?
Well, I did not kill Marilyn Monroe, but I certainly boned her several times.
I'd like to make one thing. I'd like to make one thing perfectly clear.
I wish a current president would take a convertible trip through Dallas, wouldn't you?
Don't. It's premature. We're saving it. We're saving it. We're not going to do it right now. Right now, though, we will move things along to do for you. I mean,
you have a PA that can provide another one of these by any chance? Right here.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my production assistant will get you another Stella. We had to keep the talent happy.
I work for free, but we'll work for Stella. And so they do call it the wife beater beer. A lot of people don't realize it, but it's because of what? I'm going to ask Mr. Gonzo. You know, I have to confess something. I'm here as much as to be interviewed as is to interview him. I find Mr. Gonzo a most fascinating creature, partially because we do both come from similar roots. I come from the nightclub world as he has. I have spent my time at 4 a.m.
We have the same barber.
The three of us have the same barber. Isn't that terrible? I used to be a forerunner.
And I have to say that it's very, very refreshing to hear a villain actually say the word confess.
Thank you.
Without getting in trouble.
Well, I guess it's my Roman Catholic upbringing, right? That's where I learned all the spooky stuff.
That's where it really gets scary.
It does. So yeah, I mentioned one film that I'm in, right? I'm working on the Heroes of Sixth Street.
Right.
This nonprofit Actors Cultural Theater has also partnered up with one of the gentlemen who works for the Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival.
Okay.
And that's Eric Swain and Gugundagap. This is not me slurring. This is actually the name
rolls
of
right
this.
off the tongue.
Gugundagap. Oh, I can't say it now. And it's something to do with ancient India. This film company, and we've done another film called Atom and Steam. This is where a science fiction space crew, and I've sent Gonzo all the links for these, by the way. Pardon me. Travels from 1950s Earth and ends up on this anachronistic steampunk planet.
But wouldn't 1950s Earth be a little advanced for steampunk?
No. The astronauts leave 1950s Earth and end up on an anachronistic steampunk planet. Yes, they are advanced compared to these other early industrial age people. It's an interesting story. I get to play the villain, of course, and I open up a portal that brings the 1950s astronauts into the steampunk world.
Oh, and what's the title of that again?
That's called Atom Steam.
Atom Steam. Yes. Now, you've done other steampunk projects before, right?
I have, and unfortunately, not every festival, like let's say Rodriguez's Renaissance Festival, is that popular and lucrative and makes money. So we were at Rail, which was a steampunk festival at the Gold Coast Railroad Museum in Miami. I mean, what a spectacular place to have a festival. We have these large retired trains. Have you been there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, have you been there?
Yes, I've been there a couple of times, actually.
Excellent. In fact, several local productions have used the Railroad Museum to act as this backdrop for several steampunk shorts.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, I don't believe that it made any money. While we were there, I did perform in 2 productions. One was called Wicked Shakespeare, and that is an anthology of Shakespeare's wickedest scenes.
That's a lot of scenes.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York. And all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. That's a little bit of Richard III for you there. What's great about that villain, because Shakespeare created some of our best dramatic villains. What's great about him is he's doing that soliloquy. He's breaking the fourth wall. Richard looks into the audience, and pulls them in to support his cause, not unlike Thanos in the Avengers films.
Which is true, because I tell people every time they're like, oh, Thanos is the villain, I'm like, is he really? Is he really? Because his motivation is kind of noble.
Yes.
It's kind of noble. It's to relieve the universe of half the people, an overcrowded universe
Yes.
of half the beings.
Yes.
And then the universe can thrive.
Imagine this, those of you listening. Imagine your current capitalist slave job. But now 50% of the people no longer work there, and your salary has been doubled. Come on
Right
now.
on.
What man would not want that?
Or you're still getting the same salary, but because there's an abundance, everything is so freaking cheap.
I love
What
it.
little money you
Economics
have.
can
Yes.
go both ways.
Yes.
Brilliant man. Brilliant man.
Yeah. Either way, it's still, yeah. You see, that's what I love about Marvel versus DC. Marvel, it's reality. The villains are not villains per se. Okay, they're tragic. They're just
Let's face it, that Thanos is probably second only to
Magneto,
Keaton's
Dr.
Vulture
Yeah.
as one of the best supervillains in film to this day. Why? And I'm going to ask you. I have my answers. Why was Keaton's Vulture one of the best villains in film?
He actually had something to care for.
Yes, he had something to care for. There was something invested in this. He's not chewing up the scenery just because I'm the bad guy.
It's getting a little highbrow in here. Oh my!
That's what I loved about Marvel. The heroes come from tragedy. They're real people who have to struggle with their powers and how to maintain their humanity. The villains, again, they're all taking a look at it. Magneto, Doctor Doom. They want order in the world, but they're not doing it because they want to be megalomaniacs. It's because they truly believe that they can free the world of hate and crime. They actually have an altruistic notion. Whereas DC characters, you have gods among us, and they're trying to figure out humanity. But the other ones don't give a shit about humanity. That's why they want to take over the world. I mean, it's the two universes are diametrically.
No villain does what he does because he thinks he's the bad guy.
Yeah, for the most part.
All villains feel righteous in their cause.
And some are just dicks.
Some are just dicks, yes, but I mean, those we just call them dicks.
Yeah, some are just assholes. You know, they're out for money and fame.
I mean, Tamerlane's not a dick, but he's a supervillain.
Well, you might want to ask BSO that.
But then you can fly around to some of the heroes and find out.
By the way,
they're dicks.
I don't know if you noticed recently, but I was recently given I like to brag. I was given a medallion of sorts on Facebook. Have you seen these? No. I was awarded on Facebook as the best one of the best contributors on the Broward Sheriff's Office page. I'm glad to say that.
It's a scarlet letter.
It is. It's like, you're marked now. I like to troll them, especially after the last incident at the local McDonald's. You know, I think they need to be put on a standby.
Evil comes in many forms.
Absolutely. What do you guys want to talk about? So we talked about the films. We talked about the book. I mean, I went to UltraCon lately, and we went there. We went to show Heroes of 6th Street, and I like to come up with new gear and new gimmicks, you know, because can you imagine if I wore the same orange jumpsuit at every event? The pictures would all look the same. You wouldn't know the difference, right?
Even if you date stamped them.
Even if what?
Even if you date stamped them.
Even if I date stamped them, wouldn't make a difference. So I went to UltraCon, and my costume this year was Mego Tamerlane.
It was tight.
It was tight. That's an understatement. It was so tight you could read my lips.
I'm going to refrain because I immediately
was
averted
tight.
my eyes and I ran.
But can I tell you about Mego? Mego action figures. And who watched the Netflix thing, The Toys That Made Us?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Lord and Lord and Lord. Let me tell you, Mego to me is like the temple of action figures. It's like, it is the mecca. Mego knows what's up. And
weren't they the ones that came up with the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip?
No, that was Mattel.
Oh.
That was Mattel.
My bad.
Yeah. And my red beard is somewhere between Mattel red and Hasbro red. It's somewhere in between. It's a new Crayola color. But Mego, let me tell you how much I loved Mego and how much I loved the Black Panther. I would take my Mego Batman doll and remove his cape and pretend he was the Black Panther. Now, is that a Marvel fan or what?
Next step is spray painting.
I would have had to do some detailing on the skin color. Were there any black Megos? Yes, there was. There was a Falcon. Now, isn't that interesting? There's a character,
the red and white Falcon.
A character that you could dismiss as a sort of side character, sidekick, etc.
At the beginning, yeah.
But I thank Marvel, honestly, because if it wasn't for Marvel, I may have grown up a racist. No, it's true. Because
he's not wrong.
I loved Black Panther and Luke Cage and the Falcon, and to me, I was blinded. I didn't recognize the melanin. Sure, I saw they were different. But to me, they were just like, look at those cool heroes. Those guys are really cool.
I like Marvel.
And not all heroes wear capes either, huh?
I like Marvel a while back when they changed out Captain America from Steve Rogers to the Super Patriot and his partner. And
Captain America has many different
about 8 or 9
alter
of them.
egos. Yeah.
Well, they had one guy that they were calling Bucky. It was a black character, and after a while, he just said, no, enough of this. And they gave him his own persona because it was very, very derogatory. And I liked the fact that Marvel addressed that. In the 80s and the 90s, when, it was supposed to be, okay, we're cool with this. We've got black characters. No, you don't. You need nice secondary characters that can rise through the ranks and say, yeah, I'm a black man, but I can have my own persona too. I can be your partner, not your sidekick. And I thought that was a beautiful thing that Marvel did. And you don't see that a lot from DC, no disrespect.
So, all right, hang on. Time out. Before we go on.
Fire.
Kevin, I would really like it if you moved your microphone to the other side of your laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm sitting. No, you're fine. You were suffering from a little erectile dysfunction there for a moment.
Right.
But I'll take a screwdriver to that. That's much better because the whole time you're talking to Tamerlane, I'm looking over and I'm going, well, the board isn't registering his voice, so nobody probably heard that whole soliloquy that you just dropped. And I'm sitting here going,
People on Facebook Live heard it.
My mic probably picked it up, right?
Well, we hope. But
Cool.
okay, now
Mike Simpson says, give this guy his own show.
But my question is
I
this.
tried. I really have.
My question is this, or comment, and that is, do we get to speak of the Avengers spoilers now?
Can we?
Well, I haven't seen it, but I don't care because, as we've discussed before, I have collected, owned, and read all the comic books in the Thanos saga.
Very good. So
I know
there
how
are
it
some
ends.
really cool Easter egg surprises, but Kevin really snap.
Thank you very much.
Did a snap in my brain. No pun intended.
And half people.
By the way, I didn't wear the gauntlet tonight, folks, because I figured we had enough of that this weekend. So, in honor of Tony Stark and Thanos, I went with just a leather glove tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Fabulous.
That's the hairy palm.
But there was a couple of times that I really cheered, and one of them was when. Well, those of you that haven't seen the movie, there are several time-hopping sequences.
Yes.
And so they go back to the other films. So that is just an Easter egg in itself.
Oh, God.
And they go back to, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Captain America 3, Civil War, or is that 2?
2. That would be 2.
No, Civil War was 3.
Captain America 3 is Civil War, so maybe it's not even the right film now that I mentioned it. Maybe it is 2. The scene in the elevator, is that 2 or 3?
That would be the Winter Soldier, yes.
That's 2. That's 2.
Yeah,
Very
oh my
good.
God, that was such an amazing
So
scene.
they go back to that scene because they're time traveling. Keep in mind, only Marvel could get away with such a bullshit, ludicrous story. It is so over the top and just such bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? What's great in the film? They justify their own bullshit,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yes, they do.
So there's a scene in the elevator. And you know the scene. It's the scene where Captain America is about to get into the biggest fight of all time, right? In that elevator. I love that scene. Have you ever been into close combat quarters in that situation?
Takes out 6 guys.
He takes out 6 guys, but not in this scene.
Nope.
Do I say any more?
Why are you asking him? He's in charge of something.
Don't say any more.
No.
Then I'm gonna stop there.
That one has to.
I'm gonna stop there.
Shock value.
I'm gonna stop there.
That's a shock value one.
So watch that scene
Yeah.
and thank Marvel and DC for those films. And how about Chris Evans? Is that the role of a lifetime?
Oh my God!
A
Absolutely.
role of the century? Can you imagine being cast as Captain fucking America?
Well, remember, he started off as the Human Torch.
Yes.
Of course.
That's right.
And he did a pretty good job there, too. But
Absolutely.
I always lament the was it 5 times that they dropped the ball with the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
I always lament that. But
Yeah.
all right, listen, let's move beyond the spoiler taunting. Okay, we have something very important. It's something that you've done before. Something that you
while ago.
know about. You haven't done it for a while, so the answers may have
donkey.
changed. No.
That's
No,
only
no.
in Tijuana, and we don't want video
He said
ever.
something I've done.
Ever. My God. I told you about that last time.
Okay.
No donkeys. But it is time for the 7 deadly questions.
Yes, it is.
All right, 7 deadly questions. Give them to me.
So, Tamerlane,
Yeah.
7. Right down the line. We're going to start off with number 1, which
Do
is...
I have to take notes?
No, you just got to give me your answers.
Was I
off the
supposed
top
to
of your
study
head.
for this?
Yeah, like I expect you to study for anything. I know better.
Did I cheat and read your answers?
Sure, because I don't have any. Starting off with number 1, lust. If you could sleep with anyone in the world, celebrity or not, man or woman, living or dead, who would it be?
It would either be Raquel Welch or Ariel from Thunder, the
Living or
barbarian.
dead?
Raquel is still with us. Ariel is, well, she lives in our hearts.
I didn't turn around and... Well, never mind. So, with that, you are a villain. I was just giving you an option.
I gave you one character. I gave you one human and one character that's a drawing.
Like I said, living or dead. So,
You've had sex with drawings before, Kevin. Don't lie.
No, I've seen the pictures that you look at. So we're going to move on to number 2,
right, go on.
gluttony. What is your all-time favorite pig out food?
Pig out food. God damn, that's a
One
tough
food.
one. Is there such a thing as an all-you-can-eat cheeseburger buffet?
Wow. Someone likes Tony Stark just a little bit.
No, I love cheeseburgers. I mean, really, that here's the funny thing about the American diet: that if you eat cheeseburgers, pizza, and hot dogs for breakfast, you'd probably be healthier than the rest of the Americans who have it for lunch and dinner. I'm telling you, they're good food still. The problem is we eat them at dinner time and the calories stay there. Yada yada yada. I'm a health conscious villain.
You see, I would have expected you to turn around and say that you would have had a veal burger, cheese
Yes,
veal burger.
I love to eat the young.
Because then it would be the young person and slapping mom on top of it.
Well, do you know that there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that is named after me?
No, I did not know that.
Yes, the ingredients are as follows: peanut butter, sriracha, and anchovies. It's called the Tamerlane. It's like a fluffernutter, but different.
You are from Massachusetts.
My
Fluffernutter!
God, why does that scare me right now?
I used to have a girlfriend at work, and when she was pregnant, that's
That,
all she
that was
ate
her nickname. All the boys called her fluffernutter.
Like everybody had like food in their cabinet, in their upper head cabinet. Like
Uh-huh.
they had extra
Wow.
files in there. She had a loaf of Wonder Bread, a tub of fluff, and peanut butter.
And that was just in her trousers.
There's nothing wrong with that. Get a little banana in there, fry it up, and thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, give me another one. What do you
Let's
got?
go
What do
with
you got? What do you
number
got?
3. This is right up your alley. Greed. Some people collect cards. Some people collect people. You know. What is your one must-have thing?
Wow, must-have thing. The souls of the innocent. No, I joke.
Nowadays,
that's
you'd be
somebody
very,
else's
very
job.
poor.
Honestly, do you know?
You're a Catholic priest?
The thing that it's funny. There's 2 things that I've acquired a lot of over the years, and honestly, that's comic books, Marvel, and Star Trek action figures. I'm half embarrassed to admit it. Can I tell? Well, if we're going to talk about
In the
this,
box, or do you play with them?
Most of them are in the box still. Let me say this, though. Since we're going to talk about Star Trek action figures, let me ask Gonzo. Maybe he can guess. Gonzo, can you guess my 2 most favorite action figures from the Star Trek franchise?
Random red shirt guy.
From the Star Trek franchise.
Star Trek.
I am going to say...
Original or Next Generation?
Commander Montgomery Scott.
We were in a room with his son at UltraCon, so that's a little side thing that was cool of the event, right?
Yeah.
When you look back at UltraCon, you're like, well, there wasn't a lot of people there, but I got to share the room with his son, who was in the fan-made series.
Right, but did I get that one right?
No.
And what about who was that traitor with the tribbles? Harry
Mudd.
Harry Mudd.
Harry Mudd.
Now, have you seen Rainn Wilson's depiction of Harry Mudd?
Yes, I have.
Spot on, brother.
Hell
He's good.
yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
all right,
man.
like, Game of Thrones, yada, yada, yada. Watch Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, wow.
This show is something.
I was twisted that first season.
And part of the thing that makes it something is that the writers don't know what the fuck they're doing.
No, they don't.
So they are all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you know you're making up history?
CBS
They did.
executives
Oh my
are
God.
breathing down their necks going, what are you doing? This sucks. And then, meanwhile, Star Trek fans are like, no.
They streamlined it.
And all of that together, I think, coupled makes for an interesting show.
Yeah, it does.
So, season 3, I'm like, all right, what do you got?
I haven't even seen season 2 yet, but, you know.
What was fantastic about season 2, that us true fans, us Trekkers, because I guess I can't say Trekkie, us Trekkers, what blew our mind, that gave us a fanboy whiplash, was the appearance of Captain Pike, Captain Christopher Pike, who only appears in the pilot and one of the very rare 2-episode shows called The Menagerie.
Yeah.
So he's in the cage and the menagerie. So to see Christopher Pike come back to life in full vitality was something for us Star Trek fans to relish in.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
What number are we on?
We're on number 3, and you're studying guess.
Oh, we're doing questions. I forgot all about that. We're in the middle of something, aren't we?
So you see, which would fit into number 4, because number 4 is sloth. Are you lazy
All right,
much?
let's continue.
Are you lazy much?
I don't think so.
What is that one thing that you love to get out of doing?
Oh, capitalism. No, we joke. We all want to make a buck. But you know what? I hate anyone holding that dollar over my head. I'd rather take the dollar, rip it into quarters, set it aflame, and mail the ashes to ISIS. Sorry, I went dark.
That's a little dark.
So he likes to get out of answering certain questions. So we'll move on to number 5. You'll love this one. Wrath. Who'd you like to just punch in the face?
Donald J. Trump.
That's easy enough.
Yeah, I believe that's like our winner of the year, unfortunately.
I know. I hate to be so like common, middle of the road.
His answer is his answer.
But
gotta love it.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want a second
He's
place, it would be Bibi Netanyahu of Israel. So if you want a second place,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We're going to then move on to number 6, which is envy. Not like you need to envy anybody much. If you could trade places with anybody in the world, even if it's just for a minute, who would it be?
Donald J. Trump.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you. Now, I was thinking you were going to say that. I want to know why. I have my answer.
Let's face it, the man apparently could do whatever the fuck he wants. What did he say? I could shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square. Right? And get away with it.
He can.
So,
Also,
I mean, really, he's super villaining out like nobody's business, right?
Yeah, he does have a nice piece of ass.
So, his wife she's easy on the eyes.
So his daughter.
Yes.
And based on his life, he can go either way.
It's amazing what white slavery can get you in this world, in this country. You can literally buy the most beautiful woman in the world if you so choose.
Then we're gonna.
Is there like a website I can visit for that?
There is. I think it's w.slovaknochkamorskibitsky.com.
.com. Not .net. .com.
One in. And finally, number
Yes,
7.
This is 7.
This is 7.
Is that it? 7 deadly sins.
Yes, it is. Pride. What is that one thing that you've done, that one accomplishment that you have brought forth to this world that you wish everyone knew about,
Okay,
that they don't know now?
It's a bit of a two-parter, I have to admit. Growing up as a young man, I was a huge fan of Mr. T. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is some people think Mr. T is just some 1980s personality. Mr. T got famous for 2 reasons. One, he was a bodyguard for heavyweight boxers.
A legit tough guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine how tough you have to be the bodyguard for Leon Spinks?
You got to be a badass.
Ponder! Second of all, Mr. T won the world's greatest bouncer. Now, myself, I just happened to be the bouncer manager at one of South Florida's largest nightclubs back in the day, Club Atlantis, which used to be the Bermuda Triangle. So for me to become this bouncer manager after having his poster on my wall, and then in later years actually appear with Mr. T in a commercial, well, that was something else. That was life imitating art, imitating life, yada, yada, yada. So I am quite proud of that moment.
Yeah, connecting with an icon, your icon, a personal icon.
A personal icon, whose poster I had on the wall, whose book was on my bookshelf. Yeah?
Oh, right on.
7 deadly questions based on the 7 deadly sins.
Thank you.
Accomplished by Tamerlane, the real-life supervillain.
Thank
I would
you,
have
Kevin.
expected no one else to nail it the way this guy does.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Outstanding. Tamerlane, thanks so
Hey,
much.
thanks for having me. This is great. I would like, I like to plug myself, of course, but I'd like to plug other people as well.
Who you got?
I would love to bring on this show Larry the Voice Robinson. Now, Larry is the star of Heroes of 6th Street. He plays a character by the name of Blue Lightning. Now, I have to admit that Blue Lightning is very similar to Black Lightning, but blue. It was created in a void of information. So it wasn't a parody or an homage even. But the other cool thing about Larry is, if you are familiar with Trauma films, who here is familiar with Trauma? Name me a Trauma movie.
Oh, come on. Any of the Toxic Avengers films.
Toxic Avenger. Give me another one. You have another one?
Oh, God. Surfer Nazis.
Nukem High.
Nukem High. Surfer Nazis.
Surf Nazis must die.
Yep. Gotta love
but
that one.
Larry was in Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Oh, my God.
About a cop who turns into a kabuki painted actor. And Larry plays this evil merchant. Now, another good friend of Larry's who I'd love to have on the show, Gonzo, and I will do my best, I will use the villain van to go spirit these people, is that we might be able to get the gentleman whose name escapes me at the moment. I'm sorry, I've had a few Macallans and some Stellas. But Larry is good friends with the gentleman who is in the song and in the film where the lines are delivered as such. Me love you long time. I believe his name is Lamont. The name's escaping me. And so wouldn't it be great to have a gentleman who was on Full Metal Jacket. Wouldn't it be great to have him on the show?
Sure.
So let's do our best to get Larry and this gentleman from Full Metal Jacket. I have some other plugs I'd like to plug. I would like to plug Jim Hammond, who has created the Day of the Dead Festival, who has allowed me to appear in his parades with all his skulls and whatnot. Jim has also done the Krampus Fest. So 2 years in a row, good old Tamerlane here played the old Krampus. And his latest project is a Mardi Gras festival. So, Fort Lauderdale's got it going on. So I do like to promote other people besides my own self. And that being said, again, I'd like to thank Gonzo for having me appear on the show. Gonzo has been a supporter of myself and what I do now for about 8 or 8 years, I believe.
This is like
I said 87 years.
This is like when
Shit, you look good.
Yeah, baby.
This is like when Democrats go on Fox. Only the reverse.
Is that what we do? Also,
now it's getting weird.
I'd also like to give the props out to the temple of the Satanic Temple. They gained their IRS status as a true church.
Oh, just
so,
like Scientology.
so yeah, just like yeah,
Only a little bit
you're
more
right.
believable.
Not even going to deny you, just like Scientology.
Just
at the end of the
And the
day,
Mormons.
at the
And
end,
the Mormons.
at the end of the day, religion is bullshit.
Okay. Well,
Right after Pascha.
right after Pascha. All right. Well, Tamerlane, thanks so much. Tamerlane, the real life supervillain,
you.
who will probably
That
be
was
back
great
multiple
fun.
times. And Bentley.
And
Oh yes,
Bentley.
is
And
a quick
Bentley.
shout out to
Wonder Dog.
Ben.
It keeps him from taking over the world and with disaster stuff.
Bentley, the leg humper.
Bentley's superhero power is leg humping and arm humping.
And putting up with my bullshit, right?
He
hasn't
is
taken his eyes off
a
of you
furry ball of
much.
love.
Uh-oh,
I was antagonizing him earlier. I would just stare at him. I would just stare at him and look at him. And if I would just stare at him enough, he would just look at me and whine.
Oh my God.
Bentley, she's taken, dude. Sorry.
I love you.
Bentley now has the
Oh
phone
my
number
God, you're
of a
tormenting
cat.
this poor dog. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come back with not only the douchebag of the week, but of course our featured foster, because we didn't forget about our own puppies and dogs.
Oh,
That's
here
right.
comes Bentley.
Too high up, legs
Oh,
too high.
Bentley's
Yeah,
gonna
don't jump on my leg, dog. All right, so yeah, break time here. We'll be back very, very shortly on the Gonzo Radio Show.
We are graced with Sarah's presence tonight. I have to say, I'm a little starstruck. I love you as Aunt Lydia on The Handmaid's Tale. Mike Pence, if you haven't seen it, you would love it. Every time Sarah steps up to the podium, I get excited because I'm not really sure what we're gonna get. You know, a press briefing, a bunch of lies, or divided into softball teams. It's shirts and skins, and this time don't be such a little bitch, Jim Acosta. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it Cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter. I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies.
Gonzo Radio.
And we're back. All right. I don't think we're ever going to be the same again.
No, we're not.
Not. It's always like that after a visit with Tamerlane, or a visit from Tamerlane. And Tamerlane and Bentley. Bentley does the damage below the table. Tamerlane does the damage above the table. So we wait. Let me get you guys up here. There you go. Hey, how you doing? What? What are you
He's
missing?
just showing me stupid stuff on his.
You're going live.
Maybe.
So we got to cram 2 segments in here real quick, and it's after 9 o'clock, so it's almost past our bedtime.
Okay.
No. We're gonna go. We're gonna go with the. We're gonna go with the. Wait. I gotta get it over here. I wasn't even prepared for my own douchebag.
Douchebag of the week.
And our douchebag of the week. Wait, that's not you. That's me. Hey, what's wrong with you? There I am. Our douchebag of the week. It's a Captain Obvious douchebag of the week. It really is. I mean, Kevin, you have the story.
Yes, I do.
And it's about butthurt. It's about somebody who should rise above the occasion, but has sunk below it or beneath it.
You think?
And wait, Bentley's on the loose. Bentley, hey, over here, buddy. Come over here. I got a dog in my studio.
At least he's over there. He's not raping you.
Right?
Oh, I just got a lick on the leg.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes, you did.
little foreplay.
Oh, at least he kisses me afterwards. That's nice.
Oh, wow.
Control your minion. You dropped it over there. This is live radio.
Radio?
I know exactly. How do you watch radio?
It's a thing.
But
You
it's
got a face for radio.
and it's someone who I have gone to extreme pains to ignore, because bitching and complaining about this spray tan dipstick. Okay, yeah, spray tan dipstick. I'm going to go with spray tan. The dog likes it. It's useless.
Oh, I can't
And
help
his
myself.
so-called supporters get butthurt, and then everybody starts questioning your. So I'm not gonna be too. It's not gonna be trivial what I'm gonna complain about. What I am going to call him the douchebag. Stop that. That's disgusting.
He just grabs my foot. He
Oh.
just takes
He
his
does.
little
He just
claws.
take whatever you
he just
got.
takes his little claws right into my sneaker and holds on for dear
Oh,
life.
it's getting kind of weird here. You all right?
Just a little bit.
Would you need
I
like
don't
a
know.
paper towel?
I imagine the dog is acting like this. Imagine if they bring the dog in on a week I get my period. No, not good.
There we go. Straight past douchebag
Oh
of the
my
week.
God,
to,
this
oh
is
my
more
God.
sex. I've had more sex tonight than I have had this week. Let me tell you.
All right.
He's doing better than I am.
So our douchebag of the week is, of course, the 45th president of the United States.
Oh my God, what's the chances?
And
What are the odds?
long red tie enthusiast,
But there's a reason.
seen here trying to cover a fart with a growl, Donald J. Trump.
They're supposed to use a cough.
This is definitely, come on, this is him. He's got to make a lot of attention. He's got to make big noises and get a lot of attention for whatever he does. But what Mr. Donald J. Trump has seen fit to do, and we all knew he was eventually going to do it, especially after he sent Sarah Huckabee Sanders to be roasted by Michelle Wolf last year. So we end up with a crybaby fucking president who doesn't want to go and do what 2 dozen presidents before him has done.
Kind of, sort of, which leads me right into it. So let me just take it from here if you don't
Please
mind.
do.
Say now, typically on the last Saturday of April every year, the White House Correspondents Association, an organization of journalists who cover the White House and the president, hosts a special dinner. Now, with the first dinner really taking place publicly all the way back in 1944, it has been a regular staple of D.C. life for every administration hosting at least once per presidential term and going annual back in 1986. Now, the dinner has been seen by the public as an opportunity for presidents and the administration to take a little ribbing and humanize themselves with the press to raise money for scholarships to those pursuing journalism.
That's Bob Hope.
Yeah, and has been and has seen celebrity hosts performing skits as well as presidents taking part in their own lampooning. With a long line of famous celebrities guests such as Bob Hope,
Right.
Frank Sinatra, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, Craig Ferguson, and more. the only time a sitting president has missed this event was out of respect for, like, for example, death of Vice President Howard Taft in 1942, Truman during World War II due to what he called the uncertainty of the world. Kennedy did this in protest that there were women involved in the press, but they were not allowed at the dinner. And then Ronald Reagan because, he was recovering from getting shot. And even he called in.
Yeah, he wanted to go.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Ronnie. Say what you want about the Duke.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the Gipper, whatever. Homeboy was tough.
Yeah.
He was a big raw bone. He was a legit, he's a legit cowboy. He was a legit horseman. He was a legit manly man.
Yeah. Now I'm going
to buy Moscow, but I couldn't find my trousers.
Well, that sucks. And then there's Trump. Now, I'm going to take a lot of shit from my friends, but this is news, and we cover it. So get over it.
Those aren't friends. Those are
That's right.
cultists.
The last 2 years, our current president has been a no-show for what he calls a very good reason. And, of course, we're waiting for that good reason. In 2017, nothing. In 2018, as you said, he sent Sarah Huckabee as his proxy. But this year, in 2019,
Smoky eye.
we actually finally got his reason. And are you ready for it?
What?
So boring. So negative. That's it. That's what he tweeted. Now, after tweeting a while back that he may attend if a comedian was not the main speaker, setting his own conditions, so we got, this year, Ronald Trinnell. Yeah, you know who he is?
No.
A best-selling author of, drum roll please, anyone? Yeah, historical biographies. Yeah, not only did Big Dunny not show, he ordered his staff as well, even though he couldn't be lampooned or anything because there was no comedian there. He ordered his staff to boycott the dinner and then spent his time giving a stump speech in Wisconsin? Oh, riveting. So exciting. It's Wisconsin.
Maybe he should have sent out
White
for
people and
pizzas
cheese.
and Big Macs, and it would have made
Stop
at least
talking
one.
about sending out for pizzas. I already told you I was hungry.
It's unbelievable.
And with that, shall we discuss? Holy shit hard.
It's like I've said from the get-go. Okay, let me, little spoiler alert for you, okay? I have disliked, despised, disrespected, and otherwise have had disdain for Donald John Trump since the moment I saw him on television, since the moment I heard him speak. I did not like that person. And then, of course, as he spoke, and as his issues in his legal issues and his business acumen showed itself on public and media, I liked him even less as a slumlord, as an itinerant douchebag who doesn't pay the people who work for him, as somebody who managed to bankrupt a fucking casino. I laughed when Donald Trump came down the escalator. I said, this has got to be a fucking joke, right? This has got to, seriously, that guy, really. Now, conversely, sure, he's made some money. He's done some good business, a lot more bad than good, okay? He's had some successes, okay? But anybody who's been 12 times he's been bankrupt, he's filed for bankruptcy 12 times, how is that a successful businessman? But I digress. Have some of the things that he's done since he's been in office had a positive effect on the economy? Yes. And an addition and an augmentation to things that were already in place. Now, granted, Obama went a little crazy with the regulation. I'm so with you there. Some of it needed to go. Also, on immigration, I kind of agree on that. We let just anybody who come into this country, and there's no real screening process. Let's have a screening process. Let's de-incentivize it. Why are we giving away free health care and education to people just walking in the door? At least get here, screening process, application process, and so forth. I understand where the right wing comes from. I understand where the left wing comes from. But this guy is the greatest example of we are getting played. Okay, we are getting played by Washington. He is the glaring example. He is what Washington, D.C. will let us get away with. He is what the rich people will try to get away with. We let them get away with it. We bought it. At least 61 million of us bought it. We bought it. And now we're getting a clown show. And now the clown show doesn't want to go and pay deference to something that has been tradition. Something that, they take themselves seriously. That's right, I'm on a fucking rant here, live. So, for him to pass up this correspondence dinner shows the weakness of character, shows the weakness of dignity and being beneath the dignity of the office. You wanted a business. I wanted a businessman. Okay, here's a little confession for you. In 1992, I wanted a businessman. I even went so far as to campaign for H. Ross Perot. I thought he was going to be fantastic.
I remember that. I was there.
Okay.
We're going to do it.
I thought he was going to be amazeballs, and he went nuts. Okay? And that's fine. I admit that. But right now we've got ourselves in a position where we have the anti-president. And you know what? The anarchist in me likes the fact that he's upsetting people. The only problem is that he's acting like an asshole and he's upsetting me. And I almost feel like I'm being trolled every day. Like, seriously? He said that?
The thing that bothered
really?
me...
That really, he meant that. Really?
I agree with you almost every single point. The thing that bothered me the most about this is that he basically used the last 2 years to turn around and say, I might come if you get rid of the comedians. And then he still not only didn't show... but he also, but then he also had his staff boycott it as well. And this is something that's supposed to raise money for students.
Lisa, you're the one that watches all these these tranny shows, these drag queen shows. What kind of bitch is that?
Wait, I'm sorry. First off, there's
transvestite or drag queens.
What are you into?
Okay. Sometimes they can be both or whatever.
Okay,
but
RuPaul's drag. Okay,
RuPaul's
you watch
Drag Race is drag queen.
Okay, what kind of bitch is that?
What do you mean? What kind of bitch?
What kind
is
of
that?
bitch is
hunty? What do you mean?
Well, you lay down conditions for you to appear someplace,
and then
they acquiesce and they give you your conditions. And then you say, I'm not going to show up anyway. What kind of bitch is that?
And then you pull the carpet as well.
What kind of bitch is that? I don't know, but I seem to recall somebody doing that at one point. I can't remember which drag queen it was.
You set your terms and conditions. They meet your terms and conditions, and then you go, boring and negative. I'm busy. I don't need to do this.
I think they call him Tyson Chicken. Per day.
All right. I could go on, but I'm not going to go on. I've beaten that horse. Like crazy. It honestly, sometimes it bores me because you know why? I'm still kind of shaking my head going, really? You guys can't see this? It's like a little dog humping somebody's leg while you're talking to them. Really? You can't see that?
Hey man, it happened during Nixon.
It's a handful of the
yeah,
people.
I know.
It's a handful.
I lived it.
The other guy from Germany.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll go with the simpler base thing. They basically complained about Clinton getting a $200 haircut, and Donald Trump literally has to pay $150 a day to have his hair done. No, it's actually you can.
If he shaved his head, he'd have our vote.
I'm just saying. Let me tell you what. Let me done every single day. That is the most beautiful.
Right. Let me put a capper on this. Let me put a capper on this because let me tell you quite honestly, if you keep going with this, okay, there will be a snap point, and we'll be here looking at the clock at 10 o'clock, and I'll still be talking.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay? I'll still be talking.
I'm feeling like I'm losing all my good karma people.
Hi, good karma people. Stay with me, good karma people.
Nobody's gonna be around
it's
to
not
see my
going to be that long of a rant. I'm done ranting.
Yeah, we gotta
well,
get
first
to
of all, silence. Lisa.
Yes.
Who is in the chat room?
Who is in the chat room? We got my husband, of course, because he's very supportive and loving. Lena is still here. She was the first one in the chat, and she is still hanging in there.
Thank you.
Hanging tight, hanging hard.
Thank you.
Like a champ.
Meme
And
Gangster.
It's kind of hot.
I don't know who else has been in it. I thought I had Buck Bentley Steele in there for a minute.
I believe we have
Dude,
Meme Gangster.
Bentley, come back. Come back, Bentley.
Gotta scroll up to find any more.
It was
names.
only about 7 minutes of ranting about politics. Even I'm tired of ranting about politics.
Pete,
I'm
Pete,
tired of
We
it.
can't promote Gonzo's show at the Rusty Piccolo Cafe this Saturday.
There is no
That's at
Rusty
the end.
Piccolo. Stop
That's
it.
at the end.
It's not a Rusty Piccolo. It's the Blue Pickle Cafe.
I see. That's
He's trying to get pickle or piccolo in there. I know it. So okay. So those are all the people that were in the chat room.
That's who's in the chat room right
Okay,
now.
because I want to use the chat room as a segue to our foster feature. Or would you rather call it your feature foster?
I'd like to call it our featured foster.
Oh, you're going to use that note? Now you're going to leave me?
Yes.
I've been abandoned.
It's a perfect time slot.
A perfect time slot. You know why he's leaving? Because he's like, I'm not getting another dog. I got this one. He's already humping the
All right,
shit out of everybody.
Hugs and kisses. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Thank you for having me.
By all means, thanks for coming by.
And our former producer was in the line.
The other part of South Florida.
Okay, could you take a garbage bag out front? Maybe some recycling. Okay, no problem. Tamerlane has left the building, or he's leaving the building eventually.
He's trying to leave the building.
Take
He's
your
doing-
horny dog with you
He's
too.
doing his best to try to leave the building.
Going by way of your bar.
Yes. Hey, you stay out of that bar. I'm out of McAllen's, you bastard. All right. So Lisa,
Gonzo.
foster away.
All right, our feature foster this week is Strider.
Which I personally vouch for as being a very good boy.
Well, here's what, okay? Strider has been in the rescue at my house since September, okay? Right after Gimli got adopted by a wonderful family, I picked up this little chihuahua, and he has been with me since September. And I need to find this guy a home, and he has been our feature foster once before we actually called this our feature foster. At the time, we used to call it our pet of the week. And now we have douchebag of the week and can't have pet of the week and douchebag of the week. Kind of, God forbid you mix those two up.
Douchebag of a pet.
So Strider is my little foster guy, and he is an 8-year-old, 11-pound, choweeny little dog. He is just a little sausage bugger. He gets along with other dogs. He's been living at my house all this time with the Shamey. He gets along with the Shamey. I have other dogs that come in that I board at my house. He gets along with everybody. Now, he's not looking to play with anybody. Don't get me wrong. He's not like a good time Charlie or anything. He's not looking to hang out. But he gets along with everybody just fine. So these big ears, these Romeo eyes, he's still sitting there looking for who's going to adopt him. Isn't there someone that wants this little guy? I can't imagine. I post him all the time on the Fans of Good Karma Facebook page, and I post him all the time on my Instagram, and I just can't seem to get anybody to write his name on an adoption application. I have all these comments on his videos that say, I can't believe he's not adopted. Why hasn't he been adopted yet? Why hasn't he been adopted? I don't understand. And I'm like, well, here's what. You have to make an application to apply to adopt this dog in order to get him. So no one's writing his name on an application. I just can't understand why. So he likes to go on long walks in the daytime. Not a big fan of the nighttime walks. For a dog that likes to burrow himself under the blankets where it's nice and dark, he doesn't like to go out for a walk in the dark. I don't know what it is, but he's not happy about it. But he does like to go out for a walk during the daytime. And he will go out with you and paint the town red, or he will stay home and watch these last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones with you. Believe me, he's all up to date on it. He watched the whole thing. He will join you on adventures in the car. He's great in the car. He's happy to go anywhere that he goes. He is potty trained. He is up to date on all his vaccinations. He is on his monthly heartworm prevention, which is, by the way, so important down here. Mosquito season. I already got bit like twice since I've been here. So this guy would love to crawl in your bed and sleep under the covers with you all snug like a bug at night. And he would love it if you would take him home and let him be your partner in crime, okay? If, for some reason, you can't just take him everywhere with you or stay home with him 24/7 and just be with him all the time, he's great on his own. He will be high drama, and it'll sound like the end of the world when you're leaving, and it'll be very dramatic. And I have a video camera in my car, and I know that by the time I have traveled around from the cul-de-sac to the stop sign, he's already laying down the couch.
He's over
asleep.
it.
It's very, very high drama. Don't leave me! Well, whatever. Never mind. I'm just going to go watch TV. So, Anyways, that's my boy Strider. He's been in the rescue since September. He needs a home. Please, please check out all his videos on Sheldon the Wonder Pup on Instagram and on the Fans of Facebook page. And you know what? You can go right in that little search thing and just say Strider and search Strider, and a bunch of shit that I posted will pop up. So he is a nice, sweet dog. He loves everybody. I don't know if you saw the picture I posted. Gonzo comes over. He's right up on the couch with Gonzo. My mom and dad come over. He's right up on the couch with them. He loves to meet new people. He loves to hang out and just be with his people.
Well, and I will vouch. He's a good kid. He really is. But he is a
Pete said, because they say his likes go poop outside at night. Pete said he's gonna go out. He's not gonna paint the town brown.
Oh God. I'm gonna take him out. You stop with the chat room.
Pizzas.
But I am gonna vouch that he is a good kid. One thing that you have to realize when you're adopting a dog like this, and Lisa will tell you too, okay, you can't expect the dog to be just like Joe, happy, grateful, jumping up and down to come live with you. Okay, he or she will be grateful eventually because they've been bounced around in strange circumstances. They've been dogs like to have the same surroundings. They like to have the same environment as do we. We like to have consistent environment. So when you do get a dog that may have some anxiety issues of the new place, you got to be patient with the dog. You can't just go, oh, he growls at me. I'm like, yeah, it's not a matter of him growling at you. It's a matter of, what are you doing? You trying to pet him while he's eating? Dummy. Don't touch a dog while they're eating. Let the dog eat. Things like that. But you have to be, you really have to be patient and know dogs to take a dog in like that. Now, don't worry. I mean, some dogs you're gonna adopt them, and the dog's gonna go bananas and love being there. And yes, I don't care, woohoo, up and down, jumping around. But some dogs are,
takes a while.
they're a little traumatized.
Gonzo, look at my dog Amy, right? Amy Farrah Fowler. She's the sweetest dog. She loves everybody.
Took her a minute.
Easiest dog in the world. Not even. She came in and she was just great immediately.
Right.
Here's what. Barks incessantly. And it's like my girlfriend Gina up in Savannah pointed out to me, it's such a shrieky bark. She's got beagles, so they have all that nice. It's music. It's lyrical. And so she has those dogs. So when I brought my dog up there and she was like, I don't know how you do it, man. That shrieking would annoy me. And I was like, what? I don't notice it. And then I brought her home and that's all I've noticed now. I was like, oh my God, it is really like shriek. And it's like, because
you should have named her Bernadette.
Here's the thing. I feel like you remember when Sheldon Cooper was so mad that the bird wasn't singing with the wind chimes, and it was like you were doing it on purpose.
It's E flat. Get it right.
That's what I have. I have a cacophony of these weird, shrill, weird, different barks between Strider and Amy and Sheldon. It's just like it's headache making.
Oh, but Strider's a riot though, because Strider likes to make noise.
Yeah.
I think Strider is a little bit nearsighted because he'll be sitting on the couch and my front door is on the opposite side of the room. It's like directly in front of you. And he will be sitting on the couch. My husband will come home. All the dogs bark when somebody walks in, but then they notice that it's him and they stop. Strider doesn't run off the couch to him to greet him the way the other dogs do. He stays on the couch and he just keeps barking. And I'm like, can he not tell it's you? Maybe he's nearsighted. Maybe he can't tell. But you come closer for him.
That's interesting. Now, I've met Strider. He's an incredible dog.
Yeah, he's a great
and
dog.
I'm going to say this to all the people who are watching and all my friends are going to be watching. 2 weeks ago for my birthday, I posted my birthday. I wanted to raise at least $500 for Good Karma Pet Rescue. Okay? I'd love to see more, but I'd love to see Strider get adopted. Okay, we've got $120 in the kitty so far. I'm very happy to have been able to achieve that much for Good Karma.
For sure.
But if we can get Strider adopted before May 16th, or at least someone to get an application in for him, I would forgo the rest of the money just to see him find a good home. I really would. I love that dog.
He's a good boy. He's come a long way.
I would adopt him in a heartbeat if I had the situation.
He's
where
got
I could.
personality.
He
does.
I have a lot of people
dog.
that have met him that would take him home. They've met him at events and they love him and they think he's great and they would take him home. But, not everybody wants another dog or a dog or whatever. But he really has come a long way from the shy little scared dog who thought that he had to be in charge of everything to a nice little part of our pack, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep him as part of my pack. Because here's the thing. I love this dog. I would keep him, okay? If I keep every dog that I love, I would have all of them. I'd take Bentley home and I'd cut his fucking balls off so he's not stopping me. But that's another story for another day.
It'd be you and the dogs.
Exactly.
Let's not talk about this here.
I'd be like one of those people who says I would live on the streets with my dogs because I would be living on the streets with my dogs. This is what would throw me out.
Well, and listen, that's not to say that Pete doesn't love dogs. I think you would probably get up to about 8 or 9 dogs, and then he would finally pack his bags and leave.
Yeah.
But you would get 6, 7, 8, 9
Pete just said in the
dogs.
chat too, it's a labor of love and it
Yeah.
takes time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said it's lyrical, like spilling hot coffee on your lap. That's what this is. So so we would love to see Strider get adopted, and you can come out and meet him if you want on Friday night. I'm gonna have him at Old Town Untapped at Kelly's Chemicals in Pompano Beach, and we won't probably be in Kelly's Chemicals too much because everybody's set up in there with the cats, and my Claritin wears off, and so then I gotta go out and walk around. Plus, I gotta get to those food trucks outside and get some. So we'll be there.
Wait, what was that you just did? Oh, okay. I thought you went.
It's like this.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I thought you were doing something totally different. That's disgusting.
No, I don't.
I'm a pig. What do you want?
I don't do that sort of thing. I'm a nice girl. Anyway, so that's on May 3rd. That's Friday. That's the first Friday of every month, all the time, like clockwork. Our good friend Michelle is always setting that up. She works so hard. And then on May 4th, we have Barkin' Brunch at the Brimstone Woodfire Grill. And we had a Barkin' Brunch there last month, and it was really fantastic. It was for Valentine's Day, and I think when we did it, so it was 2 months ago now. Ugh, geez, time flies. Yeah. And we had like a little kissing booth for the dogs, go get dog kisses and stuff like that.
Booth.
Jesus, cool. I sent Bentley over there. Dog screwing booth. Come on in, he'll screw you. Anyway, so that so the Barkin' Brunch to benefit Good Karma Pet Rescue is from 11 till 2, and that's on May 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Oh, God, that's right. I saw something about Star Wars is going to be on all day or something like that.
So it's going to be lightsabers and alcohol the whole freaking
Nerds
weekend.
and Mexicans.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's really funny when you said you were going to take Bentley home and cut his balls off.
Yeah.
Still Frog chimed in. That scares me because my given name is Bentley.
Ah, that's true. Buck Bentley Steele.
There's Bentley Steele. Bentley Steele. Bentley. Buck Steele. Hey,
so anyway, so Friday.
Fred's still around here somewhere.
Okay, so Friday night we have Old Town Untapped in Pompano, and then Saturday is the Barkin' Brunch. So that's the 3rd and the 4th this weekend. We got other stuff coming up this month. I'll wait and tell you about it later, but you can also always go to Good Karma Pet Rescue of South Florida on Facebook and click the event tab and find out about all the events that we have going on, the fundraisers that we have going on, like the videos. Go to fans of Good Karma Pet Rescue.
Just segue right into your social media.
Thank you. Perfect.
Segue right into your social media.
Fans of Good Karma Pet Rescue. And by the way, if you go to Fans of Good Karma Pet Rescue, I got tons and tons and tons of gorgeous pictures of Strider and videos of him. Me, little old me, you can find me at Critter Sitter Lisa on Facebook. It's also Critter Sitters and Daily Dogs. Critter Sitters is upper and lowercase. Daily Dogs is all uppercase. And you can find me there. You can find me at Sheldon the Wonder Pup on Instagram. Also, by the way, check out my buddy at Jimmy T Tattoo on the Instagrams as well. He's the one that did my little tattoo over here. I'm going over to see him again. Nice. I gotta talk to him. I got some more paw prints on there. Shh, nobody tell Pete.
Okay. And fans of Good Karma Pet Rescue.
I said that one already.
Oh, okay, you did it out of sequence.
Oh, well. I'm always a little out of sequence.
Aren't we all? All right, Kevin, guess what?
You think it's going to be simple. You think it's going to be simple, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
I don't have a graphic for your curveball, so go ahead.
That's good. You can find me at the Idaho Drew at Tumblr and Twitter and Instagram and just about everything else.
Grindr.
But you can also find me on Facebook not only as the Idaho Jew and the Pirate Pastor, but you can also find me at Fort Lauderdale Beach. You can find me at Fort Lauderdale Beach, which is FortLauderdaleBeach.com on Facebook as well.
Are you on MeWe?
No, not yet.
I am. Gonzo Radio is.
Yeah, me is we. So anyways, but you can also find me at FortLauderdaleBeach.com. Where I'll be promoting a lot of the things going on here at Fort Lauderdale. Everywhere from the Taco Battle and Beer Craft Festival that was over at CB Smith Park this weekend. As well as Tortuga, the music fest. I was down there with my good friend Gabriel. We were covering it live. And a whole bunch of other things. I will be tomorrow night, I will be at the world famous Elbow Room in Fort Lauderdale doing karaoke with Sounds of Stardom. So come on down. I'd love to talk to you guys. And if you come on down, you buy a couple of beers, I'll talk you into making a nice donation to Good Karma Pet Rescue, because as soon as I get my 501c3 started, you're going to be the first ones I'm donating to.
Yay!
Yeah, because I love a good pet rescue. I love finding animals good homes, and there are a lot of good people in Fort Lauderdale. You really need to help out Lisa and the pups and the kitties and all the other animals and get them
The
good
hamsters.
homes.
Don't forget about the cheeseball babies I told you about a couple weeks ago. They're almost ready to get adopted now. They got fur and everything.
Cool. But if your name is Richard Gere, no. So
that was a gerbil, I think.
Hey, anything that's small and can go into, just keep it away from the man. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Are you done?
I'm
Good.
done.
My turn. My turn. I get to go now.
Oh, I just kicked the plug out by accident.
Yeah, I'll kick your plug out by accident.
Don't do it by accident.
So here, yeah, do it on purpose. So of course, the Gonzo Radio Show on Facebook. Now, of course, that's the Gonzo Radio Show fan page and the Gonzo Radio Show group page. Also, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk has a fans page and a group page. Also, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk has an Instagram at Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. And then, of course, the at Gonzo Radio Show podcast, the Gonzo Radio podcast, at Gonzo Radio podcast on the Instagrams. I know we've got these graphics in here. I know I've posted them up, and for some strange reason I run. Oh, there they are. Sports Desk, Gonzo Radio Show, Gonzo Radio Show. That's me. That's the other thing there. And there you go. All right. I'm just glad to get that all in. Woo. Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun. I like Tamerlane.
I've got to clean up
I'm
drink and
exhausted.
cocktail glasses.
I'm exhausted from having so much sex tonight with that dog.
You're
or for that dog having so much sex
Which
with
leg
me.
needs to smoke a cigarette?
The right leg more than the left.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, you two wave to the nice people and say goodbye. Say goodnight.
Bye, nice people.
Which one of you will we not be seeing next week?
Not seeing next week.
Oh, you'll both be here next week?
I think we're both here next week.
Oh, woohoo.
I don't think I have to go sleep out with the dogs until after the 10th.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
Memorial Day
then
weekend
we'll
is
all
the
be
only
back
weekend
here
I'm there.
next week. Oh, no, Memorial Day weekend. We're going to get lit.
Wait a second.
At your house.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant... But wait a second. Are we going to do the show on Monday, Memorial Day? Because that's my actual birthday.
Right, but we're having your party on Sunday.
I am having my party on Sunday.
Then guess what?
What's that?
You get to host on your birthday. How about that?
What?
Deer in the
Do I have to
headlight
push
looking
the
like,
buttons?
what?
I don't have to push the buttons.
You don't have to push the buttons?
No, just your buttons.
I tell you what. I will run the mouse. I will run the show while you host it. How about that?
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So from why? Well, you don't like my house?
The poker game's on Sunday night. They're going to have the show on Monday night.
What's wrong with you?
I'll be home by Monday.
All right. Well, on behalf of myself, the Idaho Jew, and Lisa Kokoris, the extreme canine enthusiast
And senior pet reporter.
and senior pet reporter, senior pet correspondent, I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. This has been the Gonzo Radio Show here on the Gonzo Radio Network. We are the flagship show, aren't we? Special? Huh? We'll see you guys next week at 8 o'clock. Also, wait, before I go, don't forget the Sunday sesh every Sunday, 4:20 p.m. Mike Cintron, he's bringing in comics too. I've got hot and cold running comics running in out of here. And next week the Sports Desk starts on Sunday 6 p.m., which will be our permanent start time and day until football season, where we will probably move to Sunday mornings. So I think I got everything in. That's it. It's the Gonzo Radio Network. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
For Gonzo Radio, this is Super Time 6000 2015 for Gonzo Television Station, coming to the greater Sandusky, Ohio area. This is Pirate Bill, and this is Frank Welker saying, watch Transformers.